Hey guys, it's Kara from iStampin.com. This is the cute little project that we are making today, so let's get started. The very first thing that you are going to want to do is to cut 2 pieces of Watermelon Wonder cardstock, and this measures 6.5 by 6. And we're going to be using our baker's box thinlits to cut these out. The next thing that you're going to want to do is to cut a piece of our Carried Away Designer Series paper. This is one of the free items that you can pick in our celebration catalog, and this measures 2.5 by 12 inches. So we're going to be cutting this down. And then you're just going to want to get some Whisper White cardstock, and I've cut this little strip to about 3/4 of an inch by 4 inches. We're going to be stamping on that and then just notching one end. And then this is just a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock. So this probably measures, 2 by 5, and we're going to be stamping the hot air balloon on this. And so that is all of the paper that you will need. I'm going to go ahead and do the stamping first because we're going to be die cutting this out, and I'd like to go ahead and die cut the balloon and the baker's boxes at the same time. I am using our Lift Me Up stamp set. This is one of our fun bundles in the Occasions catalog, and I'm also using the Coordinating Up and Away Thinlit dies. So like I said, this is a bundle. If you purchase it together, you do save 10%, and then you will need Smoky Slate and Night of Navy. That's the 2 ink colors. And I am going to use this balloon image right here, and then for the sentiment, I chose the Sending Smiles Across the Miles. So let's go ahead and get those 2 stamps out. So let's go ahead and do our balloon first. And this does have some solid images on the balloon, so you just want to make sure that you get good ink coverage, and you can always check before you stamp it on your cardstock. If for any reason, if you don't get a good impression, just flip your cardstock over and try again. Okay, that looks good. All right, and then let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment, and I have chosen to do this in Smoky Slate. And I'm going to notch one end of this, but we'll do that towards the end when we start putting everything together. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and bring in our Big Shot, and we can do all of the die cutting at the same time. So I've got my Big Shot. You'll want to use your magnetic platform because we are using our thinlits. So just put your magnetic platform down, 1 acrylic plate, and then let's go ahead and do our balloon first. And so let's just find the matching die, and you can see all of the fun little images that you can cut out with this collection. It's really fun. And this thinlit die also coordinates with the Carousel Birthday stamp set that's also in our Occasions catalog. So that's a fun little tip that when you purchase this, it works with 2 stamp sets. Okay, that looks good. Let's go ahead and put on our top acrylic plate and run that through. Whoops. All right, so there's our balloon. So I'm going to move that off to the side. Okay, next go ahead and get your baker's box thinlit, and we are going to cut this out twice. Like I said, using our Watermelon Wonder. So let me just push this through, place this down here. Okay, there's our first panel. Okay, and there's our second panel. Okay, next let's go ahead and cut down our designer series paper into the panels that are going to fit onto the baker's box. So go ahead and get out your Stampin' trimmer, and we are going to want to cut 2 panels that measure 2.5 by 2. So we're just going to come, let me move this up a little bit. So we're just going to come to the 2-inch mark and cut 2 of these. Oh, shoot. Ah, dang it. Okay, next we're going to cut this at 2.5 by 1 3/8. So let's just come to the 1 3/8 mark. Okay, and then next we're going to cut these at 2 by 2. So go ahead and cut 2. Okay, and then come back and let's just slice off that 1/2 inch. Okay, so those are all of the panels, and we're going to go ahead and attach these before we start putting the box together. But I'm going to go ahead and fold on all the score lines, and with my scoring, or with my bone folder, just give these a good crease, good burnish. Just kind of bend those back on those score lines. Okay, let's do the second one. All right, so let's go ahead and put our panels on our box. So one's going to go there and there, and then this one's going to go here. We got to make sure that we've got the pattern going the right way. And then lastly, the 2 by 2s are going to go right here. Okay, what I suggest when putting this on is really making sure that you've got your adhesive right around the corners of the designer series paper. If for some reason, if you don't get those corners attached really well, you can just always use a glue dot. I know when I was creating this the first time, I didn't do a very good job, and those the designer series paper was kind of lifting up. So I really am making sure that I've got those corners with the snail on there really good. So I'm going to just do this just for all the other panels. And I'm going to use this one to line up, to guide me to line up, to make sure that the designer series paper matches up. There's that one. Let's do this one. All right, to adhere the box together, I'm going to go ahead and use my tear and tape, and I'm going to put tear and tape on both little tabs right here, and then I'm also going to go ahead and put them down here on the bottom, but I'm not going to peel off the paper just yet. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I like to use my fingernail to burnish the tape. It makes getting that backing strip off a little bit easier. And I'm just going to peel off just on the little side tabs. Okay, and then I'm just going to match this side. Just like so. And then flip it over. So it comes together really easily. And then what I like to do is just to kind of gently just fold in those. And so there's the top of our box. Isn't that cute? I love this designer series paper. It's so pretty. So you can see that I peeled this tape off because I put it in the wrong spot. I'm not sure what I was thinking. So you just want to put a little piece of tape just down here. So don't make my mistake. Because this is a display box, I'm not going to be too concerned about the mess that I've made. So I'm just going to peel this off real quick. Okay, now let's put this together. Okay, so this little side's just going to tuck under. All right, so I like just to put my hand in there, or you can use your bone folder. Okay. And if for any reason, if a side is lifting here, again, just use a glue dot and just put it in there. Okay, and so there's our little baker's box. And this fits, you know, quite a bit of goodies. You could actually put in a gift, candy, whatever you want. What I'm going to do, because I want this to stay closed, I'm going to put a little bit of tear and tape on one side, because how I want it to close, I have not found a trick to for it to stay closed without adhering it. So if y'all know of a way, let me know. Okay, so I'm just going to pinch this closed, making sure I've got this even. Okay, so that's good. Okay, the next thing that you're going to want to do is get out your 1/8 inch handheld punch, and you'll also need to determine which side is the front. So I'm going to make this the front, and I'm just going to punch a hole right here in the center. And I am using our metallic ribbon. This is a 3/8 inch metallic ribbon. This is a combo pack that you can also choose for free from our Occasions catalog. This is the silver metallic ribbon, and we also have it in gold. It's really pretty. I love this ribbon. I think you're going to love it too if you haven't gotten it yet. And I'm just going to feed that through the hole. And it frays a little bit, but don't be worried. We're going to clean that up. And then to tie a bow around it, I'm using the Night of Navy solid baker's twine. I'm just going to come around here and tie a bow. And this is when you wish you had a third hand. Go. So kind of pull it tight so that the ribbons stay together, and then just tie a simple bow. Okay, and I'm just going to pull the tails, make the little loops of the bow a little bit smaller. Okay, that looks good. And then just bring my scissors back in and just cut the tails. Okay, and then we can go ahead and clean up this metallic ribbon at the top. Whoops, my bow's a little lopsided, but you get the point. You can mess around with it. Isn't that cute so far? I love it. So the last, we're almost to the end. So the next thing that we're going to do is go ahead and attach our hot air balloon. And I'm going to cut one of these dimensionals in half because I want to have a dimensional on the basket. And it should be plenty with just a half a dimensional. There we go. And we'll just go ahead and put this one there. And we're going to pop this up on our box. And that's just going to go like that, and we can have it hanging off just a little bit. All right, so we've got our stamped sentiment that we did at the beginning, and you're going to need your banner triple punch. And what I'm going to do is feed this in upside down so that I can see it. And you may have to punch this a couple of times just to see how far, just to see exactly where you want your notch. So let me do that here. Okay, let me do it one more time. I'm just going to do it real thin, just like that. And this is really easy. You just want to make sure that you're even. There, that looks good. And then I'm going to use our enamel shapes. And I'm just going to place one of the circles right here just to give it a little bit of interest, just to tie in the blue. And then I think I'm going to cut this down just a little bit. And put a little bit of snail just here on the end. Actually, I put snail on the wrong side. Kind of, but this won't show. And then I just kind of have it hanging off just like that. And so here we have our cute little baker's box using the Carried Away Designer Series paper that you can find in our celebration that you can get for free, and the Lift Me Up bundle. All right, guys, well, I hope you liked today's project. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can find all the details on my blog post. So it'll be an accompanying blog post with all the directions, supplies, everything like that that you'll need. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Bye.